Tulsi's not just working for the United States of America.
Oh, tell me you're not serious.
The Tulsi's not just working for the United States of America, but I digress. So,
Oh, wait a minute.
What does that mean?
That's
no, I
a hell of
firmly,
an allegation,
that's not just an allegation. I firmly believe that.
Message is coming now.
No, here I know. Watch the bots come on Twitter now. I firmly believe that Tulsi Gabbard stands on that stage is the antithesis to what the other 11 individuals stand for, especially when it comes to issues such as foreign policy. There is no question. Yeah. There is no question that Tulsi Gabbard, of all the 12, is a puppet for the Russian government.
Surely your partner didn't believe any of it.
Whoa.
I mean,
that was strong.
How is there no question?
Well, I think that you look at her relationships, doing the bidding, her relationships and affection for people like Bashar al-Assad, her admiring somebody who we know to be a war criminal, propping them up. I think that those are questions that are going to have to be answered.
I mean, obviously, with Syria in the news, obviously, this will come up tonight. I mean, I don't know that it will be framed the way you are.
I don't think the moderators will frame it as
I
such.
don't either. But
that was very strong.
But New York Times and CNN have also smeared veterans like myself for calling for an end to this regime change war. Just 2 days ago, the New York Times put out an article saying that I'm a Russian asset and an Assad apologist and all these different smears. This morning, a CNN commentator said on national television that I'm an asset of Russia. Completely despicable.
There's got to be an explanation.
Bounds, what you had said on our air exactly 24 hours ago. So let's play that moment.
New York Times and CNN have also smeared veterans like myself for calling for an end to this regime change war. This morning, a CNN commentator said on national television that I'm an asset of Russia. Completely despicable.
Take that back.
No, and I didn't call her an asset. I called her a puppet, and I am very respectful of those individuals who have served in our military. Very respectful. Have the utmost for those individuals who did something I did not do, which is to
yes, like Tulsi Gabbard.
But that does not erase the fact that this is not a regime change war. The fact is that's a Vladimir Putin talking point that this is a regime change war. Bashar al-Assad is a bad person. He is a war criminal. He is gassing and using chemical weapons on women and children who are his own citizens. And the fact that she could find everyone to blame last night for Syria, but Vladimir Putin, Bashar al-Assad, and Donald Trump is a problem. And I stand by those comments.
But I will say being an Assad apologist, which arguably she is different than being a Russian asset, for which there is no proof.
I literally called her a puppet.
You're nuts.
And this was this is the same discussion that we were having in last year's presidential debate. This is the same discussion we were having when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were on stage. And I think last night actually bared my point out even more so than anything else. There's only one candidate on the stage who Russian bots are propping up. We know that to be a fact. The New York Times actually ran an entire article about the Russian influence that is playing.
Right, but just because Russian bots like her doesn't make her a puppet.
I mean, we can talk about our foreign policy plans right now, which make no sense to any other Democrat on right now.
Well, I think there's going to be two parts, and I think it's going to be the same as 2016. Don't vote for the other guy. You don't like me, don't vote for the other guy, because the other guy's going to do X, Y, and Z, or the other guy did such terrible things. And I'm going to show you in these, flashing videos that appear and then disappear, and they're on the dark web and nobody can find them. But you're going to see them, and you're going to see that person doing these horrible things. They're also going to do third party again. And I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset. Yeah, she's a Russian asset. I mean, totally. And so they know they can't win without a third-party candidate. And so I don't know who it's going to be, but I will guarantee you they'll have a vigorous third-party challenge in the key states that they most need it.
Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard is responding to Hillary Clinton's comments suggesting that a 2020 candidate is being groomed by the Russians. Congresswoman Gabbard joins me now from Iowa City, Iowa. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here with us. So in full,
Thank you.
What did you make of Secretary Clinton's comments this week?
Let's be clear about what this is about. Really, that if anyone stands up and speaks out to end the regime change war policies our country has had for so long, the likes of which we've seen waged in Iraq, Libya, and ongoing in Syria, we will be labeled as foreign agents. We will be labeled as traitors to our country. So really what this is a message to every veteran in this country who has put their life on the line to serve our country, to every single American who believes strongly that we must end this long-standing foreign policy of being the world's police and waging these regime change wars, which is really the legacy of Hillary Clinton, then we are traitors to the nation that we love. This is despicable on so many levels.
But Congresswoman, with respect, Clinton did not explicitly name you in that podcast. So why are you addressing her comments and bringing more attention to them?
Come on, let's be real here. Look at every single headline that's come out of her comments on that podcast. Every single one has my name in there. So let's not mess around here and pretend that it wasn't something that it was.
You're using strong words here. You've also used strong words toward Secretary Clinton on Twitter. Has she said anything to you specifically?
I have not personally heard from her.
Well, none of that really happened out there tonight. That was all in our heads, right?
It must have been.